In this video, I want to present an analogy that we can use to compare the US to. Let's say that the US is like an old house, built by somebody who's long gone and has had many different owners in its history leading up to us living in it presently. Currently, the house is in a state of total decay, but it wasn't always that way. At its apotheosis, it was one of the best homes in the city. Its first few owners not only knew how to build such a magnificent home, but maintain it as well. But unfortunately, as the years waned on, the house has deteriorated to a state of disarray. The roof is collapsed in, the windows are broken, the walls are dilapidated, the flooring is warped, the inside is infested with roaches, the yard has been taken over by weeds. Every aspect of the home is falling apart. Some people that live in the house refuse to accept that anything is even happening to their home. Actually, they say, conditions have never been better in the house. This optimistic belief is usually the result of ignorance, or from spending their time preoccupied with the distractions that this society can provide them. They're too busy watching sports all week, or obsessing over K-pop stars, or wrenching on their cars, or scrolling TikTok, to even care about the condition of the house anymore. Some people believe that our efforts should be spent improving the other houses of the neighborhood instead of our own. That's not our concern, they say. Policing the neighborhood and enforcing our failed building practices on others would be the best way forward. Or the critical view would say that they are enriching themselves at the expense of everyone living in the house who has honest intentions of trying to fix it. Some people, in fact, the very ones who are responsible for the decay of the house, love the way the house is, and they want to expand the decay to every part of the home until the whole thing is reduced to rubble. And they relentlessly spread their ideas to the rest of the neighborhood and try to convince everyone that a crumbling home is a strong home. The house was never great, they say, but if it was great, then Africa had homes just as great 1,000 years ago. No, the roof isn't collapsing in on itself, but if it was, here's why it's a good thing. Everything that would be on a to-do list to fix a home is actually a selling point to these people. It is the inversion of everything that is pleasant, beautiful, and value-added. Then there are other people who desperately wish that we could go back to a simpler time. Let's say the 90s, when the foundation only had a few visible cracks in it. Ironically, it was these same people who denied any attempt to fix the home on the basis that it violated their principles. The main way this was enforced was through a live and let live attitude towards the home. No, it's just a crack in the foundation. How does that affect you personally? Who are we to interfere between two consenting and mature pieces of concrete? It's nothing more than your baseless paranoia that tells you that the crack's existence means it will spread to other areas of the home. And yet we know that the live and let live attitude is dying an awkward death because it's turning out to not only be wrong, but not even desirable. You cannot have a live and let live attitude towards cracks in the foundation or things like black mold. Live and let live is code for let the mold spread and live with the consequences. Let the subversive groups have free reign in your home and live with the consequences. The deadly assumption with live and let live is that it's always referring to an extremely small phenomenon that's happening in the house, and that its existence won't endanger the home at any point. So what if there's some mold in Sam's room? He likes it that way, and what difference does it make to you anyways? Leave him alone. What he does in his bedroom is none of your concern. It never factors in the possibility of the mold spreading to the whole house. Sure, it started in Sam's basement, but what if it spreads to 20% of your kid's room, or your teacher's house, or even the White House? What if every home is now required to have tolerance of mold in it, and we're told that it's actually a great thing? Mold is our strength, they tell us. At every step of mold growth and spread, these people were warned of the consequences, and yet they pushed on. And one by one, they are starting to regret it as the mold spreads to the things that they hold sacred. When it was our room, oh well, quit complaining. It's the mold's right to be there and we should suck it up. But now that it's reached their room, well, now the mold's gone too far. Live and let live is aiding and abetting the destruction of your country by the world's most evil forces. It's reacting nonchalantly to the future rape and plunder of everything you hold dear. The dilemma that we face now is how to fix the house, with all of these counterproductive dynamics going on with the people living in the house. At the most basic level, we know how to fix the house. You simply kill the mold. You get rid of the termites, tear up the floors, put in new drywall, kick out the squatters, and rewire the whole thing. But we are told that these are not only ineffective techniques, but they're evil techniques, and only a fascist would repair their home that way. In this new world we live in, most people will choose the rot and decay rather than do the things necessary to have a nice house. The thought of having a beautiful and well-kept home in a safe neighborhood at the cost of appearing to be racist or homophobic or fascist is simply an untenable proposition for them. That's the dilemma. So it raises the question, how bad does the house have to get before we can accept the methods to fix it? Anyways, on that note, I'm going to end this video. If you like this video and type of content that I'm making, consider giving this video a like or maybe subscribing. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.